you guys heard, but J Mouse recently had a kid.
Woo!
Congrats.
What do we
Yeah,
think the
so
name's gonna be?
Little Mouse.
Revtane Miles.
All right, everyone, welcome to the State of the Game podcast with your host, KijannaPlays, KevtheKing, and Smash, and our special guest today, Mr. Apex Predator himself, Sweatband Tv. So we've got a bunch of questions to go over today, and I want to give a special shout out and thank you to our sponsor today, and that is Legion Farm. And let me explain what Legion Farm is and what they can do for you. Legion Farm is a website that has some of the best pro players in all of Apex Legends, and they are there to help you get better and learn the game and improve your general experience in Apex Legends. Players have been able to improve their KD from 1 to 3.5 in just 20 sessions, and that's due to the top pro players, the 0.1% of the game, helping you out and coaching you along the way. And luckily, it's all good vibes here, as the pros and the players helping you are all very polite and friendly, so you can finally avoid some of the toxicity with getting random teammates. Some of you may be aware that I have hit Apex Predator 4 times, and I want to let you know right now that no matter how good you think you are at Apex Legends, there is always room to improve. I use Legion Farm to get helpful tips and tricks on how to improve my game and see what the current pros are doing so that I can adapt it into my playstyle for when I run rank. Getting started on Legion Farm for Apex Legends is super easy. All you have to do is click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Go to the sign up option. Once you're there, you can sign up with Google or your Discord. Once you're there, you'll have some options to go ahead and choose whether you want to focus on coaching, fun, or result. You'll choose the lobby that you want to play in and how many pros, and then you'll go ahead and choose the service that you want to play on along with your country and your Discord and your account name, and you just hit confirm. Then you'll be brought to this page right here, and you can actually enter the promo code Smash, and it will give you a discount. Their stats for the win rate and the KD from before and after using the service is crazy, but don't take it just from a statistics page. What do the players who use this service have to say? Legion Farm has thousands of reviews online from players just like you who have had nothing but good experiences and a pleasure working with the company to improve their playstyle and their experience within the game. If you are a little bit hesitant and want more information on what other players had to say, check out the reviews. And also, it is a great way to find out what pros other players are recommending so you can figure out which one would perfectly work with your type of mood and vibe. No matter what system you are on, they will have players and pros to help you achieve the goals that you are looking for in Apex Legends. So if you are looking to improve your game and have a better experience with Apex Legends, check out Legion Farm today. I'll have a link in the description below. And thank you again for sponsoring this video.
Guys, Omega here. Got a couple of questions about Season 10 for you guys today. So question 1, with Seer's abilities on full display in the trailer, how do you guys believe it'll work into the meta of Apex?
So I saw the thing that they were talking about with the heartbeat sensor, first of all, that he's going to have. I don't really believe that that's going to play a huge part, to be honest with you. When do you really see that many people kind of camping corners in Apex? You know what I mean? You can kind of grasp for the most part, unless you get those audio cue errors that we sometimes have in Apex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like you, for the most part, know where people are in buildings. So we already have Crypto, we already have Bloodhound. So I mean, adding another legend like that, I don't know how much value that's going to add. I do think the tactical ability is very cool, and I do think the ultimate ability, where it drops the dome, right? I think that's pretty cool, as long as you put it like in an area that an enemy is going to be stuck in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to like throw it out in the open and then somebody run through it for 0.2 seconds. Like, it's going to be pointless. So I feel like the skill gap is definitely going to be high on this legend, but if you master the abilities, then I think you can dominate.
I mean, I feel it depends on, like, you know, how far you have to be to really, you know, get a heartbeat. Like, do you have to be like in footstep distance where you could actually hear the footsteps? Because in that case, the heartbeat will be useless because you already know where they are. So like, if you could be a decent, you know, distance away and you can still see the heartbeats and stuff, it might be useful. But again, what's what Ban just said. I mean, any decent player in Apex like knows how to track enemies based on, well, if the audio is working, if the footstep audio is actually working, you know, be footstep audio alone. So yeah, I'm with Sweatband on this one.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that, like, you know, audio in Apex has been bugged since pretty much the game came out. It's always been like a really big issue. And so then to add a legend that relies so heavily on a possible audio ability, it seems really interesting to me. I mean, it seems very much a mixture of Bloodhound and Crypto, which just pushes Crypto down even more. Like, no one really uses Crypto, and I feel like now there's even less reason to use him.
In terms of skill, do you think he's going to be like up there like with Rampart Crypto in terms of skill to use?
Oh, okay, you said up there, and then you said Rampart and Crypto, so I'm thinking down.
I was like,
well, yeah, like
yeah,
kind of,
yeah. I mean, I see him being kind of a lesser version of Bloodhound. I think he's more like Bloodhound meets support character. I like Bloodhound so much because you have the ultimate ability, which really like allows you to have a lot more fluid movement and push a lot more aggressively and help your team out with the scans constantly. Whereas his dome is cool, but without the heightened movement, I just don't see him being as good as Bloodhound.
Feels like they're trying to slow down the pace of the game with this legend, which I don't know if they'll be able to do that. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be a high skill gap character.
I personally don't think that they're going to be able to do that. I think that Seers' pick rate is going to jump massively right in the beginning, obviously, because everybody's going to be like, ooh, I need to main this new legend, or I need to get the inside scoop. But right as Thornton said, I think it's going to be like between Bloodhound and Crypto, and it's just, there's no mobility. I'm going to always forever probably play Pathfinder, Wraith, Octane, those legends, and those are going to cater to like the newer players as well. That's why Octane's pick rate is the highest in the game, because he's fast, he can get out of situations quickly, and like with Crypto, it's so hard to get out of situations. And like I've been watching with these #1 players that I've been doing the videos with, the Crypto, the Watson, they've been struggling because it's like, how do you get out of those areas? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. He's a really cool character design. I don't dislike his abilities. I really got to see them more in action before I have a fully formulated opinion. Just on paper, he doesn't sound as good as other legends. And like Sweatband said, I also highly enjoy highly mobile characters. Apex Legends is definitely a movement-based game. So I think that's going to be... I think aesthetically, people are going to love picking him, but I don't think, like, gameplay-wise, a lot of players are going to struggle with him, I think, right off the bat.
So for question 2, how do you guys think the Rampage LMG will work in the game, and how do you feel about the Spitfire going into the care package?
Spitfire, first of all, yes, it needs to get out of here. I wish it was just nerfed and not go on into the care package, because now it's going to be stronger, I feel like, in the care package, and I feel like it's going to be even more annoying. I mean, it's not going to be as common on the ground because it's going to be in the care package, but I feel like Respawn is going to buff it because it's going to be a care package gun now, so... It's a good and it's a bad at the same time. No, the Rampage LMG, it's a light machine gun, right? It takes light ammo.
It's theorized that it's gonna take light ammo. I saw Shrugtall thinks it's gonna be heavy ammo, but that doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know how you introduce a new LMG that uses heavy ammo, which is the most damaging ammo, right up there with energy, and then have it have a buff with a thermite grenade. That's too much. Right. You have to have it do minimal damage.
That thermite grenade. That I'm concerned about that. Like, I could see that being very annoying. I mean, we know Respawn's track record with LMGs in this game. The Devotion, which was once insane. The Spitfire, which is still insane. So I'm hoping that they find a way to balance it and like not make it too just annoying to play against. But I'm happy that at least they're trying to, you know, switch up the meta and just change up what guns are being used. So,
do we know what the like added damage with the thermite is with their Rampage?
No patch notes out for it yet. We just know that it will be. I would say something probably like tick on damage, like the like a regular thermite grenade would be my guess.
So over time, do you think it adds with the more bullets that you hit to the enemy and they catch on fire, or
that would be my guess. If they do a sentinel charge up, I think a sentinel charge up per damage, like a big boost like that, would be too powerful on an LMG.
I feel like if you add any damage, it's going to be super OP. If there's added on tick damage along with the, do we know the base? We don't know any base damage or anything like that either, right?
No, I said, it's probably light, so I imagine it's lower.
Than all the it might be LMGs. A really fast shooting gun, but like very little damage. And then when you add the thermite, it it just ticks over time. But I'm not sure. And as for the Spitfire, of course, we want that thing in the package. Do you think people are gonna like have the moral to be like, okay, now I can grab it because it's in the package, or do you think it's just like stay away from that. The community as a whole is kind of just
Nah,
like get away
it's
from
not-
the Spitfire.
They're still gonna use that shit.
Yeah,
People
I think
gonna
they'll still
that
use
shit.
it. I get blasted every time I'm on stream and I pick up the Spitfire when I don't have a gun, and everyone just mocks me. So now I
Yeah,
don't touch
yeah.
it. But if it's in the care package, I'll grab it.
But well, you can swap out the sights now. That used to be terrible,
Oh,
honestly, in my
yeah,
opinion. When
yeah.
it would put like a 1 to 2 times
Yeah,
on everything. I was like, oh god.
yeah, that was
Get off.
rough. It'll be nice to get the Prowler actually back on the ground. I've missed that gun.
Yeah,
Ooh, I'm excited for that.
One should put the Mastiff in the care package because it's just, nobody really uses the Mastiff. Does anyone use the Mastiff? Really?
I have
No.
there's like a couple people that'll vouch for the Mastiff hard over the PK
Nah,
and the Eva, and I'm
What?
like, oh god.
Crackheads.
I'll always pick
There's
the
too many
Peacekeeper.
shotguns on the ground.
Nerf the Eva a little bit, honestly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It's even more insane on PC. Like, I
Oh,
was
yeah.
surprised
and-
how much in like that's crazy on PC.
I think it's kind of funny how like everyone this season and for a couple seasons now has been like, we need to nerf the Spitfire, we need to nerf the Spitfire, and Respawn's like, okay, we'll put it in the care package and we'll give you a new LMG, and this one will literally spit fire. It feels like kind of like an inside joke at our expense.
Well, what do you expect from Daniel? You know,
Yeah.
he's not really the best at balancing guns and legends, in my opinion. But hey, we'll see.
By the way, just saying this, Sweat should have been invited to the capture event
Yeah.
because he's a gameplay channel. He literally just does gameplay.
I got so much trash for that tweet. I should.
Nah,
I guess I
people
should have
don't
never
understand.
tweeted that.
No, you should. You should. People just don't understand like how it works. But yeah, you definitely should have been invited because you're literally a gameplay channel, which is literally what Respawn wants. So I mean, we haven't used the Rampage LMG, so we don't know if it's gonna be good or like trash. So we can't really talk about it. But I'm just hoping it's not gonna be like Spitfire 2.0 or Devotion Season 6 2.0.
So for question 3, what lore do you guys know surrounding Seer and his connection with the other legends?
Yeah, so Seer, in terms of lore, I'm guessing you guys saw the little teaser trailers about Seer. Yeah, so apparently people in his planet assume he's the reincarnation of this cursed moth that led the princess to her death, and basically that's what he's been known for all his life. And so if you've seen Naruto, he kind of has this story where like everybody in his world didn't like him just because they interpreted him as being like, oh, you're bad luck, to get away from us, you know. And so we saw the new trailer that came out today, as you can see right here. And this is the thing that I found interesting, is that Seer lore-wise seems to like know all the legends dark secrets. Like he can see like what's hiding in their heart or whatever, like how they feel about what's happening with them. Especially Bloodhound. Bloodhound's not like talkative.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's very like, but he knows that, oh, you're sad that your home world, like, you know, your home is being destroyed. He knows that Lova, the whole Lova Bangalore thing is going on, and this is where it gets kind of interesting. I'm curious to see if he's going to be the person that basically tells us more about Caustic and Revenant, because we don't know lore-wise why Caustic killed the people in Humber Labs that started like him going to the games, but him somehow having the ability to see like every legend's like dark secret or what's inside them. So he's going to be able to tell us like, oh, Caustic, you're afraid of like, you know, sir, you're keeping the secret. Oh, Revenant, this is the reason you're always like so mad, like you're mad at Hammond because they did this to you.
Yeah.
And hopefully, this is the thing I want to know more. What is Rampart's secret?
Connection.
Because
yeah,
because we have zero idea about her backstory. Yet Rampart knows him because he competed in the gauntlet matches in her home world, and I guess he was there too. And so I want to see what's like her past, because Rampart's gotten like the little amount of lore out of every legend. So it'd be nice to know a little bit about like what, you know, what's her dark secret, like what makes her like something that she hides from all the legends.
I just thought that the launch trailer was probably one of the best I've seen.
Oh yeah, it was.
It's right up there with that launch trailer I think they had with NF was the background. I think it was season 3 with where they introduced Crypto and World's Edge, and they had NF playing in the background. It was right up there in that regards. I also like loved the stories from the Outlands. It's probably one of my favorite stories. I know it was a lot shorter than the other ones, but like in terms of like content,
the style, right?
yeah, like they got the same person from Love, Death, and Robots that did like a short called Zima Blue. And there's so many
That's
pop
why I was
culture
so
references.
familiar.
Yeah,
That's why I was so familiar. All right, makes sense.
there's a lot of pop culture references there too. Like when he jumps off the building and he's falling down upside down, that was a complete callback to Into the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales and stuff. Out of all the legends here so far, has been the most interesting with their backstory since maybe Horizon. I didn't find Valk that interesting of a backstory. Don't get me wrong, I think it's cool that she's Viper's daughter, but I like that's not like cool lore. That's just a connection with her parent. Like
I still think Revenant and Loba both have the best backstories in Apex for sure.
Yeah.
I have no idea of any of the lore. I've
Yeah.
never explored any of the lore. I'm laughing
man
because
is-
Kev keeps moving these characters.
Yeah.
I'm just watching him move them back and forth.
Yo, this man just drops 20 bombs every game. He doesn't really.
Yeah.
So question number 4, what was your guys' overall opinion of the EA Play live event? Will ranked arenas be a worthwhile venture? And what's your guys' just opinion on it overall?
All right, so yeah, we know that we're going to be getting, it's most likely a next-gen update for Season 10, because you can't have Xbox and PlayStation compete in the ALGS Tournament at 60 frames per second. That's just not going to fly. They're also turning down aim assist on console for those tournaments. We know we're getting Seer, we're getting a Rampage LMG. Overall, the presentation was really cool, and it's very interesting where they're going with Season 10. I'm a little disappointed they didn't do more announcements because, like we've gone over before, there's been no new content for like June and July. And so I was just expecting with this kind of an event, they were going to go over a lot more about what they've been working on for the last 2 months.
I was expecting this. Like I expected them to just release a launch trailer, talk about some new stuff with the new season. But this was all what we expect from a new season. Like this wasn't like anything new. Season. This is the 10th season of Apex. I was expecting some kind of like big change. I don't know. I was just too hopeful. That's why I have no hopes with Respawn. I still respect Respawn, but like I'm trying my best to keep more hopes at bay, because expectations with this game often lead to like unfortunate disappointment. So I'm excited still, but I'm just kind of on the fence because we haven't seen much change, and we haven't heard a lot from Respawn in terms of the servers, ranked, balancing, just the simple things that we really need, like to make Apex where it needs to be, we haven't heard much about. So I'm still just on the fence.
You're not getting invited to the event, bro. Stop. With that attitude.
Why? Who are you trying to fool?
You said they're raising the frame rate finally on console, or
for next gen systems. I mean,
okay,
that would be my working theory, because I don't know how you have console compete in a pro tournament with PC players and not have that be better, because it won't be fair.
They should have had that in the game along with. You said there's no cross progression earlier, right?
No,
that's being announced yet.
Nothing.
They need to come out with that. That's going to be a deciding factor in how many people stay on console or switch to PC. There's a lot of people holding back from switching just because they have 100,000 kills or 50,000 kills on and all their skins and stuff. It's like you're totally starting over with, and some of the skins are like pay to win, like the R99 skins, Wingman skins, stuff like that. As for the ALGS, I guess they're just going to have to switch their aim assist unless they do come out with the frame increase to the PC. Well, that everybody would have to play on ALCs then, right? Because it's only available the PC aim assist option. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
It's only really available to switch it on ALCs. So I don't know how. They would definitely have to change the frame rate.
Yeah.
But
are you gonna enter the tournament? You gonna enter any on a console?
No.
Nah, you should try, bro. You should try.
Bro, I'm totally focused on just making videos. I want to have a good time. I don't want to stress myself. That is, I tip my hat if I was wearing one, which I'm not, to all those people that practice for ALGS. That's a lot of grinding. That's a lot of hours played with your team. I actually talked to the Team Kungarna that won the last ALGS. They said they play 8 to 10 hours a day, like as a team, for like leading up to that one tournament, and they all quit their jobs and stuff to just totally focus on that. And if that doesn't go the right way, you're screwed. You just wasted so much, kind of wasted time because you need to win that. Like, it's like you're playing any sport. You always want to win, like the Super Bowl, the World Series. You want to make it all the way. And if you don't make it all the way, it's just seen as another disappointment. So, I mean, that takes a lot of time. But if console players are allowed, I think there's a lot of good console players that haven't got their name out there yet. I think it branches out a ton of new opportunities, and you're going to see a lot of new faces in the comp scene very soon. Yeah. As for ranked arenas, I'm very excited to see how that works. If you guys have played any like Call of Duties in the past with you were talking about the ELO system, and I was looking at the patch notes. I don't know if you solo queue in, because it was talking about your specific performance as a person. Like, you have that ELO that nobody can see, and then you have your actual rank. So let's say I solo queue in and I drop 10 kills and 4,000 damage. My teammates do nothing. How far down do I go? Yeah. What happens with that? I'm very eager to see how that goes. I definitely think there will be their own, like, it's going to basically become a niche in the game.
Ranked arenas will never be viable, in my opinion, for solo players. And the reason for it is, on the patch notes, they strictly say they don't care about your kills, they don't care about your assists. None of that goes into your ranking. It's only wins and losses. So if you solo queue, your thing is going to go up and down. It's not going to be consistent with how good you're actually playing.
They also said, though, that like once you get that ELO and stuff, they're going to put you with players of that same exact like range. You know what I mean? So you might, if you're a good solo player, you could probably get matched with other good solo players and beat full teams. Honestly, that's just what I think. I don't know.
My question, though, is the MMR or ELO that they're using, if it's only calculating wins and losses and that determines your ranking, the other players you're getting solo queued with won't necessarily have the same ability to drop players as you. They'll just have as high as a win rate, which means they either got carried by other, like, it's a very, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
What are you guys' opinions on controllers and keyboards? Because it seems like they want to, like, they kind of stirring up some kind of drama. Respawn, we're like, oh, the battle between controllers versus mouse.
Straight up honest, I'm a console player and I'm fairly decent at the game. Keyboard and mouse will just always, on a general player base level, be way above what you can do on a console. I can't move in my loot boxes. I can't tap strafe unless I have a scuff controller. There's just a lot more that PC can do.
When I first switched, I was trash, but I would say I am, if not slightly better on keyboard and mouse now. I would say I've like matched my skill level. But look at somebody like Sweatband, right? If I was to 1v1 Sweatband right now, I would get destroyed. No matter how much I try to, and that's just facts, because I played with them before. Like, no matter how much I try to, practice on keyboard and mouse, some players are just they're so skilled on control, like they understand how to really take advantage of controller, and they know the advantages. So yeah, you could do a lot more on keyboard and mouse, but you could also, just train yourself, how to use a controller in Apex effectively and just take advantage of, all the things they could do. So, like, for example, when the Mastiff was when it was actually good, the Mastiff on controller wasn't seen compared to keyboard and mouse. Like, it was so much easier to use. So yeah, I would just say it depends on the player, like look at Snipe though.
Now, this next question, I'm definitely interested in hearing your guys' thoughts, but what are your initial tips on starting a YouTube channel specifically for Apex Legends?
Like, there's so many comments on YouTube videos from console creators, and I know obviously you guys came from console at some point, but there's so many people that just instantly get turned. They're like, oh, you're on console, the gameplay must be terrible, bro. Like, I hate seeing that, because it's like you all started on console at some point. And if like me and Kijanna both, like, we're both on console, it's like you can grow a platform on console. If anybody tells you it's not possible, they're just lying to you. And a lot of people are like, you're not on PC, then you're never going to grow, you're never going to expand. It's just not true. you can be a good player if you're entertaining, if you make good content, then you can grow on a freaking mobile phone, Nintendo Switch, whatever you're playing on.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
That's actually a really good point, because a lot of people, a lot of pros, a lot of Twitch streamers who play on PC, they used to shit on us console players. Like, I used to feel like, how, like, am I really that bad? But then after realizing that, no, like it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what platform you're on. Like, a good content creator is a good content creator, a good player is a good player, and you don't have to be on PC to you know.
Yeah, I think all of us are. I know I'm still on console. I know Sweatband's on console. Kijana, you just switched over, but you were on console. And Kev, I think you have a PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're all console, and I think all of our channels do just fine. It's like Sweatband said, it's the content you provide, not the system you play on. Although Sweatband's a unique case because his is gameplay focused, and Sweatband's a good example of even if you do a gameplay focused channel, you can still be quite popular.
That doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Yeah.
No, they're there for you. They're not there to watch straight gameplay all the time. You need to have a personality. Nobody. And can I give a quick little message to all the new YouTubers and stuff like that? If you're starting on Twitch and you're thinking of starting a YouTube or whatever like that, please do not just post stream highlights if you don't like. If you're not a well-known content creator already, posting stream highlights is just honestly a waste of your time. You need to create unique content that people are going to be able to find, and that's how you're going to essentially grow especially in the Apex scene. Nobody really cares, even if you're dropping 5,000 damage a game at this point. So late into the game, everybody's seen everything. You need to do something new, and that's how the newer content creators are going to get their names out there 100%.
Yeah, so I would say there's two ways to grow. I really got a lot of questions about this. There's really two ways to grow in Apex right now. One, as Sweatman just said, original content will take you a very, very long way on Apex. Like, people like to see Apex original content. Like, I think Sweatman just did a series with like the top like legends on each platform. Look it up. I would say you could either do that original content and just be yourself, or two, get into the news niche. News is a really good way to grow on YouTube. News, like opinion-based videos and stuff, but you can still mix the. Yeah, I mean, look at that. He literally took this spot from someone.
We know who that was.
Yeah, we know.
You don't have to say someone on
it. I was gonna bring that up. I was thinking about that. Like, in my head, I was like, this man really just zoomed into that spot like that. Like...
I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Yeah. So yeah, you could do news, opinions, or you can do like gameplay and like that kind of content style. But just posting like clips. It's not gonna do it.
I've actually said it like before, and I get questions about it all the time in either my Discord or when I'm streaming, and people are like, how do I get seen on YouTube? And I do exactly what Sweatband said. Do not post your highlights, because no one gives a shit if you drop a 20 bomb. Pro players are much like, unless you're Zilbrad, just don't do it, or a pro player.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a niche, I actually started with talking about the Apex Legends Nintendo Switch release, because no one was talking about it, and that's kind of what started me to grow. And I highly recommend, if anyone's out there, what no one's covering right now and has kind of a ravenous fan base, the mobile version. Like, no one's talking about it. It's a completely open category for if a content creator wants to get in there and start giving tips and tricks about how Apex Legends works for the game, so you can be prepared when the mobile version launches.
I honestly wish I started making those videos earlier about those tips. Like, if you don't even need to be the best player. You just need to make tips that'll stay around for the long term, because those videos are going to get views over time, and nobody's ever going to stop searching up, how do I get better aim in Apex? It's always going to be a topic, so it's definitely going to get you views over time.
I remember when Apex first started, I got interested in the lore. I will say this: if you're going to make videos, find something you're really passionate about and love, because if you're not, trust me, it's gonna kill you inside. Like, oh, okay, gotta make a video even though you don't want to. So yeah, I would say this is to find something you're passionate about. Like, I'm passionate about the lore. I know not a lot of people care about it, but I kind of do, just a bit. And yeah, so that's all I'll say about it.
What do you mean not a lot of people? Your videos do awesome.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people, only hundreds of thousands of people.
Loads of people love Apex Legends for the lore. Like that. I mean, that's one of the very distinct parts about this game.
It's kind of, the lore is kind of complicated, and you have to do a lot of research that it drives some people insane. By people, I mean me. Trying to look at this. Do you see the board right here? Do you not see all these connections? Do you not think? Yeah.
I feel like you're the kind of guy that has like an underground bunker just in case of a nuclear attack.
I cannot deny or confirm that, but
but yeah, Kev is a perfect example of like there's a niche for everything, you know. There's a niche for everything, and even if any, you know, up and coming content creators watching this for Apex, so any other game, you know, you don't really even need to stick to one niche. Like you could always pivot and try different things. You know, I was somebody who really only posted news and stuff in the beginning, and I tried last month. I tried to like post different videos, and I saw some really, you know, some nice success. So I would say it's just about experimenting and finding what works. YouTube is really just a game, and you know, trying and failing and trying and failing. So yeah, it's a grind. Though, it's a grind for sure.
They're not gonna be great in the beginning either. Like if you're just starting out, your videos are gonna suck right away, and you're not gonna like it. I don't even know how many videos it took me to honestly get like probably 80 to 100 videos to get like good traction on the channel, because you're gonna learn what works, you're gonna learn what doesn't work. Like Kijanna said, it's always about experimenting. I know myself, when there's something new that drops, I'm like, is this going to be the next thing? Do I hop on this trend early or get on later? You know what I mean? You always want to be, you don't want to sacrifice like the traction of the channel to jump on something new, but you always want to be just have an open mind to new content and switching things up. Even if something's working really well, you might want to try something else and they could both do really well. You never know. And you could grow that much more.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining the podcast today. Kijanna, KevtheKing, myself for hosting, and Sweatband TV for joining us. If you guys want, check out his videos. He's incredibly cracked, and you're probably going to get much better at Apex Legends just by watching his video. Next week, we'll have iLoot Games on the show, so make sure you tune in for that.
bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Okay.